Alright, now I'm gonna talk about Amrish Puri Films. It is an Indian film production and distribution company based in Hindi. 2019 to the present, there is a silver man, and inside it, there is the word Amrish Puri in golden text, and under it, there is the word Amrish Puri Films in white text. Here is an intro. Has been the previously neutral Nordic country. That's volume by 14, system volume. Here in this 123 Integra. So the first thing to notice about this, well, we have a really nice low ceiling Integra. So I already did drive it on track this morning, and so now here in the afternoon I'm driving it on the street. And on the track it was very, very impressive, and I'll talk more about that here in a little bit. But first thing on the road here to notice is the CT4B. I've already really liked the regular V-Series version. The CT4 is a really nice little car in my opinion. You have great visibility, no color, not too thick. It just feels nice and compact, and that gives it this agile feeling as well. And the one thing you don't get in the regular V-Series though is the nice bonus on this twin-turbo V6, since the V-Series just runs over a 4-cylinder. And so even here in the tour mode, I still have a nice little burble to it, although there is a variable exhaust, so you can crank out that engine sound and have the exhaust get a lot louder as it goes into track mode and stuff. But you don't even really need to be in track mode. You can just cruise around and just give it a quick little... Here, it comes away, but it's nice and loud pretty quickly. With the tension, auto safari is really smooth. It's great on track too. It's very snappy with its hip, and it's very, very responsive. It's always in the right gear. But just when you're cruising around, it's just a very nice daily driver type of vehicle as well. I mean, especially here in tour mode, it has magnetic ride control 4.0 with this version. It's the fastest reacting adaptive suspension out there. It adapts about 1,000 times per second to the road conditions and stuff. So constantly changing and giving you a silver ride as fast as you can have for this type of vehicle. And it's really nice. I mean, we aren't on any rough roads, so it's pretty well maintained. But so far, I haven't had any complaints with the ride. It's really good. It's also pretty quiet in here too. No emission costs for fire. Also, all the driver inputs here in the CT4B block are also really nice. So everything is just so well dialed in. I've always appreciated correspondence with Cadillac that always talk to me, but nice little tip in for the gas here in the tour mode, and then it does feel so nice and soft, nice meaty power from the twin turbos too. We just dip into it a little bit. And it's also pretty easy to be smooth with the brakes, but it's also one of the few vehicles that actually lets you change the brake feeling in the my modes and the B modes and stuff. So that's pretty well too. So if you want a softer brake or a stiffer brake, you can have that as well. It's pretty crazy. You have that much customization, so you can custom tailor this out exactly to how you want it to feel. But it also feels really good. Also the steering in tour mode actually feels perfectly weighted to me. You can't go for the heavier modes if you want, but I think in total here, it's not like it's super light or anything. It just has a nice substantial feel to it still without feeling like it's really trying super hard, super heavy steering or anything. Right now the corners are very mild and slipping, so clearly when you get into close, you can't swing the performance or the handling on this vehicle. But overall on track, it was really impressive. So you have 255 wide with about 44 in the front and 275 in the rear. And they grip very, very well. Now, of course, we were doing lots of track lapping, and so whenever you're on those tires for a good while, they do get a little bit greasy. Towards the end, it was a little more so happy. But in those early laps, whenever those tires were fresh, I mean, it was really grippy. And even whenever it did start getting a little greasier, it was really good still. It's very aggressive with the way that it was able to kind of rein it in. And you know, with the PTM mode, you can, dial it exactly how much or how little play you want in that back end. But I just found it to be pretty friendly, you know. I mean, obviously, if you really wanted to go crazy, you could easily drift this thing and slide it around like crazy. But, you know, if you actually were trying to do quick laps, it was able to, be right there with you. It was very helpful with the stability control to try and, keep you in check a little bit. To me, it felt similar to the ATS-V by a good bit. It just had a little more stability than the ATS-V, a little bit more sharpness, I think, to the front end, and a little bit as well. They made some, small little changes. Of course, the TT4 is a completely different car than the ATS, but, as far as the bracing and stuff, they added a bunch of other undercarriage bracing and stuff to, firm everything up here. So it's going to feel a little bit tighter than the ATS-V for sure. But, out on the track, it's like far as driving, because you have, very similar engines, similar power rate, similar wheelbase, and all those types of things. It's going to feel pretty similar to me to the ATS-V. It's just like ATS-V with some real stuff, it's even better. But yeah, I mean, so even on these, Delta 4, it's really nice to just because it just feels so capable, so competent. But really tight corners, especially where the TT4V shines, because it's smaller wheelbase, smaller dimensions versus the TT5V, and it's heavier weight and stuff. And having a lighter weight here, really helps when it's going on a tight battery. Speaking of that weight, by the way, they actually, even though it's an all-in-one vehicle, and it does have a lot, like I said, the extra bracing and the nicer tech, nicer, different gauges, things like that, you didn't have in the ATS-V. It's only gained 100 pounds over the ATS-V. So it's about 3.5 pounds exactly for automatic. Manual is like 3860, I believe they said. So it's still a very light vehicle, and that's one of the really great things about this. But I'm going to go ahead and put it into the Z mode. That's going to put everything into progressive setting aside from the stability control. So let's take it out of the back mode here and see how it does. Here we go. Alright. This feels really nice. I'm loving this traction off. Sounds really good. So yeah, we're still running in a test version of the 3.6 liter from the ATS-V, but as I can recognize now, the manual also revives electronic and also revives intake. Now to give it that extra power. And so 472 horsepower, 445 pounds-feet of torque. Here at 60 foot peak start at 3.9 seconds. It's 12.1 for the manual. And yeah, I mean, it holds itself really, really well. I'm going to try out some manual shifts here. They tried it. They did, customize this manual. That was just pretty good. And the shifts are pretty good too, man. I love that exhaust. Let's try that with the window now. I could even go for a little bit louder, but honestly, for a luxury sports sedan, I think it's really good. It really feels nicely as well. I believe there might be a little bit of distance from the features, but I can get so much out of the exhaust itself. It's great to have a blend of both. I'm all for it. The more sound, the better, especially whenever you're up in the more aggressive mode. So that's me. Yeah, this is a good thing. It's much better. I'm not the great experience in the manual shifting of the regular TT4 experience, the TT5 experience. So this actually goes a lot better than the auto. So I'm still a manual lover. Keep the manuals alive. Find the manual if it works for your commute and what you want and your things. But if you go to the auto though, I think it's actually pretty cool. Oh man, this thing really pulls nicely out. It's one of those cars that feels like it's kind of in the sweet spot of its power. It's not bonkers crazy overboard, but it definitely does not feel close. It just feels really stout and like all the power that you need on the street, to be totally honest. I mean, you're never going to find yourself wanting for power. I don't think unless you're a complete speed junkie. But I think for any kind of, insane, legal, spirited driving on a public road, I think this is going to have plenty of performance and then some. But, yeah, I'm definitely having a lot more fun with this kind of sound. It's nice and medium sound. I love how the front end is looking, even though we're in a track mode here for drama to it, which I do love having that kind of drama. Stands off the system a little bit. Also, I kind of wish it would be a little bit awkward track mode, but I know it's smooth and track mode. Open the track is sport mode, you see how I'm at that. So I kind of turn some of this stuff down a little bit. Maybe even the engine sound down a little bit. Yeah, that's happy with everything. It feels really good. Oh man, this motor is sounds good. It's really strong. I think that's just the one huge upgrade I know. And this is of course the 240 on a much nicer car. ATS is like totally newer. But I think that the exhaust is the one thing that I never was like, oh, the exhaust combination of ATS being in this. I actually really love the exhaust sound. Because I think how much lower than the fact we have that has some of that low on it, but the bond is full of able to get where you want that kind of stuff. Some off they put that in here. I think I have another test by it, even with the suspension, with this mode, the brake shielding, and the assistant mode and everything. It's like in that daily driving. You know it all the time, aside from the having a progressive setting. It's nice having some control for sure. But everything else, it's not beating me up. Now, let's just see how wholesale road, if it really is much rougher. But I think the great thing with the magnetic ride control is that it's always done such a good job of balancing good ride quality, fantastic handling, as opposed to the generation version. It's going to be worse. It's going to be even better. So I think if you have a vehicle that has experience with magnetic ride control, new version should be even better, and it's a nice upgrade here. But okay, so there's a little bit of like pivoting there. You can feel that it's stiff. I'm kind of bouncing around a little bit, but it's not a harsh bouncing around. You can tell that it's set up a little bit stiffer right now. But the great thing is, I can go in and change that canopy mode, and I can swap the suspension and dial it all the way back, so I can have nice soft suspension and everything else nice and crazy. You can have it set up exactly how you want, which is just the best. I love that all these vehicles have these jobs that now that Cadillac really gives you a lot of customization. A lot of have like one mode, and this does have that line width, but having that keyboard right there on the steering wheel, you can pop that, it takes a split second, hit the button, and you really have exactly the settings you want for any kind of sportier drive or anything. I love to take up the button to do it. So cool, on the rock around the steering wheel as well for PPM. You don't have to do any kind of fancy button pressing like ironing and cheat code in order for PPM and this. It's very simple to mess with, yeah, honestly, it's something you always need to mess with because again, the voice control is so well programmed I think in this vehicle. Unless you are doing actual track driving, you're probably to mess with that switch honestly or need to. They're going over other little minor bumps and stuff. It's pretty buttery smooth. Again, this segment, again, remember we're talking about stuff like a BMW M2, which isn't really a close to finish stuff, but your four-door stuff is the CLA, the 845, that kind of stuff, it's just, always want that rough road, it's a little cheaper inside. This actually feels like a proper sports van still, not like some, souped-up hot hatch. It just seems like it has better bones, and I think it's a damn smoother ride than when you get in those types of vehicles, most likely. I would do them too, have not done the new CLA or anything like that. The direct comparison, they haven't done the new RS3 to compare those, but in my previous experiences with the older generations of those models, they were a lot rougher, and I think the fifth kind of being a little bit smoother, probably. It's something you appreciate if you're daily driving vehicle like this. So that's all right there. You're in a normal drive vehicle. Why is it only all-wheel drive? I know this is regular standard all-wheel drive, but here's a all-wheel drive only, and that's all everything should be because the extra driver involved with the extra fun, the extra little edge, part out of that. But it's put the part on very, very well. It's pretty isolation that stuff a little more. This is a little more raw, which I really like. I also really love how even though I'm in the V mode for the engine and the transmission, it's not forcing me to be sitting at 5,000 RPMs all the time. So a lot of other vehicles, they put them up in that mode, and the transmission gets really hyperactive and it's constantly wanting to be great response. And in this, you know, it does a spotlight. It doesn't force me to be sitting at, you know, like I said, 6 RPM. And so once you do chill out, you can still have the nice sounding body off, all that stuff, in that track transmission and engine mode, but still have the ability to coast around 20,000 RPM and not be getting, you know, 5 miles per gallon on your own drive. So it's kind of nice how they set that up. Obviously, you could go into manual mode, you know, kind of connect that stuff to yourself if you like as well. But I just like how, you know, it still allows you to kind of chill out a little bit even when you are in this more aggressive engine mode. But speaking of manual mode, I think manual mode is one of the things I'm enjoying the most about the automatic CT4 black. It's because the automatic gives you a bunch of extra safety tech as well, and so whenever you get all that extra safety tech, that adds into that price. So that's why, you know, it's more expensive there. So just one little thing to note, so you don't see sticker shock and like, wow, I have to pay $3 for automatic. You do get some other features to go along with that. So, alright, so now we're in the manual transmission CT4 black thing, and it feels really good too. The one thing I love is the transmission is really nice and notchy, and just feels really good to use. It's the FedEx TR6060, and you also have a little bit more space on the cam in here, so you know, it also does have active red match and no risk shifting. So the active red match is just to turn on every single time. There you are, you know, over here, it'll like cut the through a little bit there just to keep it work. It is, you know, reasonable level, but it works. It works for the ride. I'll have it when you highway drive it through mode if you need that cruise control with the lane keeping it good. And that's system. So if you've watched any other Puri and Hyundai reviews in the past few years, the highway drive system isn't one of the best systems out there, but it has let me down on several occasions where it doesn't hold the lane, and it's a little tricky to tell when it's active. Here in the 2023 Integra. So the first thing to notice about this, well, you have a really nice, you'll probably hear the little sound that's emitted at 25 miles per hour. It's a kind of a mandated thing for all electric vehicles, but this has a very cool, interesting little sound whenever it's whirring around. Other things to notice about the GV60, obviously being an electric vehicle, you have all those key characteristics of the instant power, instant response, there's no shifting, there's no waiting around for an engine or anything, it's immediate power, full torque from the second you put your foot down. But also I think that the visibility here is pretty good in the GV60. You have close in APOs. You are sitting up higher than you might be expecting again as well to further reinforce that crossover vibe that you do get with this. And so that's pretty, you know, cool because you have a really good view forward. The hood drops down really nicely. And the view out of the back is the most interesting part of visibility because as you can see, it does a trick and a lot of you do also have a ton of cameras. You have a forward-facing camera, backup camera, of course. You also have side cameras for a full 360 view, even when you turn on the turn signal. So we're going to hit that here. Please hit that. I want to get that there. Here we go. Oh, we're getting covered the time. Man, over here. Wow, that was so. Man. Wow. Woo, this is fun. Wow, so, here in the GV60 performance, you have more performance than even the Iron 5 and the GV6 offer you. So, with that overboost mode, you have 483 horsepower, 516 pound-feet of torque, and the GV60 in that first mode is 3.5 seconds. Yes, it has supercar acceleration, and it's a 12.274 miles per hour, like 112 miles per hour for the track speed. I mean, it is properly fast. Now, after that 10-second burst, you'll have about 429 horsepower and 446 pound-feet of torque normally, which is still even way more power than we get in the Ioniq 5 and the EV6. Now, that's for all of the performance versions. Therefore, the lower advanced trim you have, I believe it's like 14 horsepower in that, and the same 446 pound-feet of torque. The same torque should go pretty similar around traffic whenever you sort of fit into it, so you get the extra power here of the advanced version. And again, there's quick acceleration, not in boost mode, just to do a little bit of scientific comparison. Still very impressive. You know, it just doesn't, it's not quite as frantic, but wow, especially when you're on boost mode, it's a steering wheel mounted. It's like hitting the NOS button here. It's so cool. You have that. And also, I love the sound. There's a bunch of different sounds. We'll talk about the others here in a couple of minutes, but there's a bunch of sounds you can have with the futuristic one I'm using currently. There's a couple of others. There's also you don't like the sound thing, and so there's even maybe some custom blend your own sound. So how it responds to the pedal, and also what it sounds like and how it blends all the different sounds. It can really give you so much customization. But anyway, out of components here, let's see how the GB60 handles. So there's 255 watt tires and 21 inch wheels, but they're only privacy all-season tires. So, you know, I was kind of mid-quarter and gave a little bit of gas, which obviously is going to provoke hundreds here. But, you know, otherwise, so, you know, it still has some lean to it. I think it's still fast here because it might be sport version. I'm hoping they do a sport version using the mechanicals from the Ioniq 5N and the Kia EV6 But, I mean, it's really nice and fast otherwise, and I had no problem going around those corners. And it doesn't feel heavy either, considering this thing weighs 4,862 pounds for a climb driver. So, you know, pretty weighty, but you do have an outside window shift differential in the rear there. And if a rear bias setup, and so that's something you have, you know, it does a little bit more neutral feeling to it. It's just that, again, these tires immediately get overwhelmed with this much weight and this kind of performance and power that it just, you know, you find the limits very early on in this thing. So that's just one thing you have to, you know, be cognizant of, and you have to, you know, drive that, you know, I guess, preparedness and caution or tire over the track. I would love to follow these things out with some proper summer performance tires on, which I mean, it's not an option, unfortunately. I really wish it was, but man, oh man, this thing on some good tires, I'd be very curious to see just how well it is very, very impressive. Right up there with just as impressive as any other very fast occupant, you know, Tesla Model 3 performance that I did one of those several years ago. Just everything is, you know, impressive stuff. So I think that might be a little bit of this too many years to do that admittedly. Obviously the highest crossover position here is going to. And it's just a little less athletic, but it's still good. Steering also has a really nice weightedness to it. In sport mode here, and I mean it also is very, you know, flat and simple with those rapid dampers especially, that really helps out and makes it feel a good bit better. And yeah, I'm just really enjoying it. This thing drives it. I love it. Over the race steering, even in the sport mode, it really ramps up power nice and fast. It was suggested, I just want to like slow this thing everywhere I go. So it's fun. Another thing is also very fast is the recharge time. So moving on from the acceleration to how this battery. The 77.4 battery pack, and it can do it from 10% to 80% in just 18 minutes, which is right up there with the best reviews here in the year 2022. I mean, that is super fast. Like, of course, the Python does those types of recharge times. It's way faster than like a Mach-E or, you know, like the Volvo X40 Recharge, even the BMW i4, M40, or the 50i. That thing still isn't going to be able to charge as fast as this guy. Here we go. Next boost mode. Boost ready? Here we go. I love the wheels. They're not wasting even work there. Keep fan. Oh yeah, you feel like you are on, a roller coaster, a modern roller coaster ride, which just launches you, like Space Mountain or something. It's just power. It's probably even faster than that, honestly. But it's just like crazy how it just it's so impressive, and it's so much that overwhelms the tires. And I also think it's even faster if you had it. There's so much tires to grip better and not give you that wheel spin. I love the wheel spin. It's fun. Without that, it probably rip your head off even more. So great video. Listen to these songs. Pretty cool, right? I like that. E-motors, the next one we'll try here. Oh, it's always on my camera here flying around, making a bunch of noise. That sounds pretty cool as well. I think it's my favorite, because, the whole thing with EVs is you're supposed to go into something futuristic. And so I think that, having a futuristic soundtrack to that really fits. You can also, by the way, change how much volume you have for each of those modes as well, if you want to knock it down and have it not be so intense with new sound. You can also have some of the sound that's a little bit less common too. So that's Genesis is one of the best. It has like every single little thing, has a million different customizations to it, and it's one of the vehicles where I think you really enjoy it more than even the average vehicle. Everything is exactly how you like it, and change things you never thought could be changed in other vehicles in the past. It's just crazy how much stuff that you can change in those vehicles. Other things they dimension is the weight. Another thing very important when you're talking about a vehicle is this fast. Do you have nice force brakes? And they're pretty responsive. Now, they're not super grabby. It's nice, I think, because it means you're a nice, easy ramp up, so you can be smooth with them. This thing, it really is crying out for better tires. I think the performance version would maybe have, even like, do the Pilot Sport all-season tires. It doesn't have to be a summer product. Even the Sport all-season would be a lot better than this Performance Sport all-season, I think. I'm not sure why they chose this tire. Because the all-season Pilot Sport is a fantastic tire and still has great capabilities in all weather. But anyway, overall, though, I'm just really impressed with the way this thing drives. And also this road drives, a lot of road noise, and you basically none of it. All you're hearing is this sound that I have turned on, and then the air conditioning blowing. It's just it. It is so quiet in here. And one of the reasons why it's a great sound station has been helping 17 streets today, so it's over for us here, during my weekend again. And now I'm stuck with some potholes here. And works out really well for 21-inch wheels too. I mean, it's great. I think they did a great job fitting up this pump. And kind of size the tires which also help a little bit here. They're not going to be super tires. But I think it's doing really nice to get very luxurious space with the ride. And I think that it allows people to focus very comfortable even if the road is but I got this sound design thing not quite as well here while I'm talking. But one other thing I do want to mention here is that you do have these generation made paddles. So the different paddle shifters, if you're in the 60, like the Audi R5, you have the same feature where you have the paddles you can actually ramp up the regeneration for the braking, so that if you want to have basically one pedal driving, it has that one pedal mode. And you also, if you want to have a band or you want to change it up on the fly, you can change it so you don't have a big jump, crank it up. Otherwise, you let it coast around or whatever it is you want to do, and you can do it just changing the pedal immediately. I get more customization and something that the Yamahis, for example, don't give you. Even in the GTs, you don't have any kind of way to change the regenerative braking. It's just one pedal in that vehicle or nothing. I love the pedal shift. It's a really nice 40 touches, especially if you're driving enthusiast and like swing out, that kind of stuff. Great that they have that here. And again, something you can completely ignore and never touch if you don't want to. It's a little bit of a vehicle, but if you want to be able to... In a normal mode, it definitely spins out the power delivery. So if you want to really compressive power, and you can load this in the whole mode, and I thought, that was really fast. Put it in sport mode, and that's the way to make it feel punchier and more responsive to the gas. But then again, especially putting in that boost mode, really, making things fly, and that's going to be the way you're going to get some more drop back out. But now we're over there, and cruising here about 55 miles per hour. Nice and fine. A little bit north, a little bit windier day here, but nice and fine. You got car passing there. I think that's pretty good for your segment. And another thing, so I have the highway drive assist function. advanced and it has a link to the system out of the hand system. So there's one area where the one is a high tunnel, but the best competitors, they're like Ford and Marquis and Bluetooth, which is actually hands-free. Also Cadillac offers Bluetooth and the lyrics, which is now coming out. There are a few others that, are going to do a little bit of a better job, but, compared to like the Teslas and stuff, and also Fortunate and Amazon, it's done a pretty good job so far. And I say there's a lane-changing function, but so far it's not doing any kind of automated lane changes for me or anything. At least not like how a Super Cruise system will do them. But anyway, one thing that's doing very well though is going on with Puri. So previously with other Hyundai's Genesis and Kias with this auto drive assist function, it hasn't been the best with the reliability during steering assistance. But so far here it is doing a pretty good job here. So I'm kind of putting my hand on the wheel here, just trying to keep my hands on the wheel. I'm just getting a little bit extra force, but it's doing a better job here than I've experienced in the past highway drive assist vehicles. In addition to the highway drive assist technology, you do have all the other normal safety technologies like behind, automatic braking, rear stop traffic alert, all that types of things. Like I said, the camera, the side mirrors to give you a really blind spot when your turns are going. So many great features as far as all that stuff goes. You also have it, you can do the intelligent parking thing. I've been driving the GV60 Performance here for a week now, and I really have loved this thing. It is so good, and it's basically perfect in my opinion, and I think it's actually probably my new favorite electric vehicle that I've tested. I mean, it is really tough. I haven't done some of the craziest stuff out there, but this is one of the high-performing ones that I've tested. But just the whole GV60 generally, beyond just the performance aspect, it just all feels so good. The ride quality is just so good. The luxury in here, the refinement, the generation, how easy it is to drive, just the way that it's calibrated and set up, the way that it handles. Everything about this is just so good. Yes, whenever you're pushing it on a tight back road, the weight is going to be apparent. It goes for basically any other electric vehicle out there. But aside from that, and even if you want to upgrade tires on this, to make it much better handling, you totally could. But even with these ultimates, this is such a good driving vehicle. I loved it. Beth was actually authorized to drive this one at Big Bush. She loved it as well. And yeah, it's a very, very impressive thing. So, a couple things to mention here. First off, my efficiency. So we've driven this vehicle 168 miles here over the week, and our average efficiency here was 3 miles per kilowatt hour. So I haven't reviewed anything else that's this high performing yet. So, as far as comparing that to others, it's kind of hard to compare. But I believe, in the Marquis with the slower versions, I was getting, like 3.3, something like that. And I think the Volvo was a little bit lower. So I mean, I'd say this is pretty much on par with that. As far as the actual MPGE rating for the EPA, it's rated at 97 MPGE in the city, 82 on the highway, and 90 combined. And you'll find that it's not the most efficient out there. The advanced version is actually a little bit more efficient, of course, with this less power. And that one actually is kind of a both part, where that's actually managed to get over 100 MPGE. But it's still very solid. I think considering the performance, I think the efficiency is very good. And along with that solid efficiency, the other thing I have to mention is the range. So the range is 235 miles of range for the performance version. It's I believe the 250 is for the advanced. But 235 claims here for this one. But I actually did charge it to 100% on multiple occasions, and it was quoting me between 244 and 245 miles on a full charge. Now that Gecko meter will depend on your driving style and a bunch of different factors, the weather and all that. So your mileage will vary. But in summer conditions here, running the air conditioning and all that, I've been seeing over that, estimated range figure. And even I'm at 97% charge right now. It's still telling me at 239 miles of driving. Again, on the 235 it's rated at with a full 100% charge. So I do think it's actually overperformed those range estimates as well. And again, I haven't been driving this thing lightly either. So I mean, it's calculating this range figure based on me hammering on this thing and really, exploiting my performance, hitting the boost button. So I think that, that's another thing that's very, very impressive is that, you are going to probably even get better range than they actually quote you. So that's a nice line too. And then really the last thing to talk about here is the pricing, how it compares to the competition. And like usual with Genesis, they have priced it very well to make it very competitive, so they undercut basically everything it's competing with, while again giving a top-notch product that I feel honestly, it feels like they're giving 110% with the Genesis, and some of the others it might be good that they don't go the extra mile with the cool little toys like the spinning chips that we have here, and the extra options for interior colors, exterior colors, things like that. The others, just want to give you 3 different versions of gray, and maybe a red, and a black, and a white. And that's about it, I love that this really gives you a lot of really exciting color options and stuff. But anyway, as far as top price, so you have a regular advanced triple J GV60, has less performance, but still has all-wheel drive, and still is fully loaded, by the way. And those run just $60,000, including destination. As far as the advanced trim goes, you look at other normal, ordinary EVs that have similar amounts of power, like a Volvo XC40 Recharge, is going to run you about the same 60 with way less interior tech, a little bit less space as well, so backseat space goes and things like that. I feel like this is just miles better than that Volvo, even in the less powerful version. The Volvo has a little bit more horsepower, but this actually has more torque than the Volvo will. So that's kind of a wash in my opinion. But you also look at the newest stuff coming out, like the Mercedes EQB that's going to get a regular GV60 advanced, and they also have less. Just honestly crush its competitors currently. There's not a lot of competitors out there that's crushing most of them. And so whenever you get into the performance stuff here, like this one as tested with the performance again, and you have the one upcharge of the color being a few $100 extra. But this one's about $69,000 as tested. And even at $69,000 price point, it's almost keeping that hockey versus this being a luxury branded vehicle, way more luxurious, the actual leather, the food seats with the
if you want to, you can. Matter of fact, let me show you how it looks if you install all of the accessories. Alright, so that's how you install all of the accessories. Alright, let me grab a phone, we'll pair these up, and I'll do a little sound test. Talk amongst yourselves. Alright, y'all, so we back in. Now, dim the lights a little bit so we can see the RGBs more clearly. And as far as the pairing process, real simple. Once you power up the speaker, it'll automatically be in Bluetooth pairing mode. Go to your phone's Bluetooth menu and select the Mars Pro. Alright, so let's try out some music. Now, if you notice, we do have touch capacitive. Let's get max volume. Okay, here we go. Look at that bass. RGB everywhere. Oh, this speaker sounds great. I like this one. so let's try another song. Alright, so now let's try the Shark 14. We got all the RGB lights. Lights everywhere. Okay, there's your volume control. Turn it down. All the way up. Get back volume. I like this one. Let's see, let's try to hold up the legs. Lift it like this. Now let's pair two of these together and see how they sound. Alright, so I got two of these paired together. Now let's test them out. Now to connect true wireless stereo, it's real simple. You're just going to hold the Bluetooth button down on both speakers for 3 seconds. Then you're going to see the lights start flashing. Single click the main speaker, double click the second speaker, and it'll automatically connect. Just that simple. Alright, here we go. That bass is crazy. Let's go. Now let me grab a little phone, we'll pair this up, and we'll start our usual testing. Talk amongst yourselves. Alright, so before we check the sound quality, let's take a look at the lights. Now you got two different colors. You got campfire and soft white. So we're going to start off with campfire. I'm going to use the wheel on the top. This is minimum brightness. Okay, so it kind of looks like a lantern. Now let's increase it more. A little bit more. And here's max brightness. Look at that. This is nice and bright. Now watch this. I'm going to turn it down some. Now let's switch over to soft white. And this is if you want even more light. Here's maximum brightness. Now I'm sitting down here in complete darkness. And you can actually see it's lighting up the room. If I wanted to read something, I can easily read it. Now depending on the size of your space, you might want to get two of these. And look how much more light you get. Now if I had these on the speaker stand and it was nice and high, it would look like this. Okay. Okay, so the lights, beautiful. Alright, so here's how you control the lights. You see that little light button on the top? You just press it once, that's going to turn it on. Now you can cycle between soft white and campfire. Now you use the wheel on the top to make it brighter or dimmer. And if you want to turn it off, just long press on the light button. Just that simple. Now if you want to use the speaker as a power bank, all you got to do is power it up, plug in a USB-A cable, grab your device, plug it in. Now to pair up the speaker, real simple. You're just going to hold down the mode button for about 2 seconds. You're going to hear a little beep. That's going to put the speaker in Bluetooth pair mode. Go to your phone's Bluetooth menu and select the Me for Wild Camping. Alright, so let's play some music. I'm going to start off at 50% volume. Here we go. Let's increase to maximum volume. One of the things that I love about this speaker is the 360-degree sound. So if you're having a little card game or something and you got the speaker on the table, no matter which way it's facing, everybody's going to hear the music the same. Let's try another song. Let's check the buttons for play and pause. One press. Now if you want to skip to the next song, long press. If you want to go to the previous track, double press. And you got volume up and down. That's max volume. All of the buttons work. Alright, so now let's try true wireless stereo. Now remember, you can pair up to 100 speakers. So you just go to the first speaker, hold down the true wireless stereo button.
TWS pairing.
Do the same thing on the second speaker.
TWS pairing. TWS connected.
Just that simple. Now let's play some music. Alright, so I got the official Floss Recorder sound test by my homeboy Mark Barbier. Now I'm going to start off at 50% volume with 2 speakers paired together. Here we go.
Yo, sound test. Sound test. Everybody shut your mouth. Sound test. How's the sound test? How's the sound plus? How's the sound plus? How's the sound? How's the sound?
it sound big? Does it sound loud?
Half the bass, baby! Half the treble! Half the sound loud! Half the sound loud!
That's a loud wheel. Now this would be perfect for sitting in your house or sitting in your backyard and you don't want to make too much noise. Stereo mode sounds great. But now for me, when I'm working out, I need louder music, so let's run it back at maximum volume. Here we go.
Yo, sound test! Sound test! Everyone shut your mouth! Sound test! How's the sound plus? How's it sound? How's it sound? Does it sound big? Does it sound loud?
Half the bass, baby! Half the treble! Half the sound loud! Half the sound loud!
That's a sound deal. That's a motherfucking sound test. That's a sound test, baby. That's a sound test. That's a motherfucking sound test. How's the sound on that shit, God damn it?
How's the sound, white shoes? How's the sound on it?
Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Robier. Let's go and wrap this video up. Alright. It's one of the cars on the Hot Ones packaging. It's the Spoiler Sport from Hot Wheels. In the awesome retro The Hot Ones series, the Spoiler Sport captures everything that reminds me of the 1970s Hot Wheels. This is a vehicle that needs to be made in real life, and I'm sure many of you have seen those Honda Odyssey commercials where they're trying to sell minivans to men by making them look cooler, which they're not. But this is, not that I really have anything against the Odyssey, but Honda should have just licensed this design from Hot Wheels, because this is the manliest minivan ever. It looks like it belongs in Logan's Run, or THX 1130 Spoiler Sport. Could easily cut through a giant block of cheese while driving at high speeds because of the spoiler on the back. And it has skylights to help illuminate whatever illicit activities are taking place inside. This is a van that comes a-rockin'. It's the Spoiler Sport from Hot Wheels.